all want to be forever young. You know, I'm 63 years old. I was born in 1946. I'm a leading edge boomer, you know, but I still feel like I'm 22 years old. You know, I just can't move as fast. My jeans don't look as good. I go to a party and I can't hear what people are saying. You know, I used to have very, very sharp vision. Now I wear bifocals. And I thought, well, okay, I wear bifocals. I knew my parents were wearing bifocals. But I didn't realize that it goes beyond just wearing bifocals. Now I have a ton of floaters, and now I'm looking through like a dirty pane of glass. So, you know, it just goes on and on and on, and it's one more nuisance after another. So today we're going to talk about technologies that apply themselves to all kinds of nuisances that come up in our lives as we get older. I think Gary Kay talked about it. He has arthritis in his hands. You know, he's got a vision problem. And, you know, his hearing isn't as sharp as it used to be. But I still want to be forever young. I don't want to slow down. I want to be like those gals out there on the floor running. And I'm still running, because you can see me running up and down the stage here with my Ahlman pedometer. So this panel is going to talk about technologies that allow us to be forever young, that assist us in those areas, that give us just that little extra assistance that we need to compensate for those things that happen either through genetics or through wearing, you know, your headphones and, you know, blowing your hearing out, you know, when you were bopping around as a teenager. We didn't have iPods. We had 7 transistor radios. And so this is going to be a great panel that's going to talk about this. Now, I've got to introduce my friend Bud Myers from First Street. He's the Senior Director of Merchandising. So if you have a product out there that you think would be really cool in his catalog, this is the go-to guy, okay? He'll help you sell boxes, all right? And I also want to tell you that Bud has been coming to Las Vegas for 50 CESs? Over 50 CESs. So you can imagine, you know, CES is one brutal conference to go to, one brutal trade show to go to. It's big, it's unwieldy, you know, the cab queues are too long, you can't get on a bus, you know, and how do you get to eat? Unless somebody like myself gives you free food, you'll be waiting in line for, 2 hours, right? So you can imagine the torture that this man has been through, you know, not to even mention the boom cars that will just absolutely take your hearing out. So let me tell you a little bit about Bud. Bud has, over the last 35 years, Bud Myers has been nationally marketing consumer electronics and launching innovative technologies for the boomer generations with companies as Vice President of Marantz, Frox, Interactive, Craig, Consumer, Unical. So he's been with a lot of companies, and he is with First Street, which is a fabulous magazine that focuses on our marketplace. And so at this point, I'll bring Bud up to the stage to conduct this panel.
No, I don't have the time for that. I'm sorry. You know, you say that, 50 CESs. I have to clarify that there was actually 2 shows from 1976 to 1991, if you remember. And so that's where that comes from, okay? So it was in Chicago and it was in Vegas. But that does mean that every year since 1976, I have been to Vegas. And in that time, That's the one thing. You don't want to show your wife The Hangover before you go to Vegas, because one of the things they'll say is that, well, at least she said to her friends, well, he's outgrown that now, So I think I have. You might have. The thing about being at all these shows, though, basically is that I have seen some evolution. It really starting back with 4-track and 8-track. The evolution of audio and how that has actually, through boomers who need to buy toys, the audio has progressed from 2 speakers to 7 or 8 speakers, and certainly a lot of things in between that. That was the 60s and 70s. In the 80s, we began to have a video revolution. Video took that, computer gaming. We went into home theater. We have always had revolutionary products that right here at CES were introduced and we brought to market. But here's what I really think. Even though my friend said to me, buddy, you used to be rock and roll, now you're just rockers and rollators. But it really isn't the piece. It's really not the piece. You see, the technology, I think, that we're showing and what Susan has put together here and what Mary Furlong has been talking about for 20 years is that these products that you see at Silver Summit and you see in this Digital Health Summit have never touched before within the last 2 or 3 years. And when you look at it from a conceptual merchandising position, this launch, compared to the 50 years I've been here, is the most significant product launch really in the history because it's life-changing, life-evolving products. When we were just joking about 3D, it's almost like consumer electronics is doing their own thing out there. And believe me, they are. I'm not saying to follow the consumer electronics industry. In fact, we can learn an awful lot about it and change it. 3D, oh, by the way, 3D, I can't wait to see the first 3D Viagra ad. I don't know how they'll do it, but that's the thing, isn't it? You really do have products that really aren't touching lives. Now, these products do. I think we have a huge conceptual merchandising challenge. We can have one product, we bring that one product to market, and these 4 companies, have done that, more than that. They've engaged the market. But initially, how we have to get the value out of this and how we have to sustain this category and we have to grow this product categories is actually create a category. Now, I don't know how to name it. I don't know how to put a fundamental name on what this thing is. Is it wellness? What is it? But I do know there's synergy and that if we can come together to have a category of products, then there is authority. There's authority to the retailer. There's authority to the merchant. Then customers will come in and start buying the products. Right now, they're hidden. They don't even know that they exist. And the fundamental change or difference between those 30 years in the past has been there has been specialists in place to tell someone about a new stereo technology or a new video technology and to teach them. And we don't have that now. So how do we get these products that are truly differentiated, that truly can make a difference? How do we bring these to market so they can actually sell? There's got to be some trust here, some real trust. And I'm not so sure there's a lot of trust. I don't think you can put trust and electronics together anymore. We just launched HD TV. Now, 3 years ago, you may have bought one. Now, I think last year, they said, you know what, that 720p HD, I want to show you real HD, 1080p, okay? 50% more resolution. The early adopters said, what the heck, okay? Oh, by the way, hey, if you want to hook up any high-definition source, you need an HDMI source plug, okay? And guess what? Those old televisions didn't have it. Now, my Blu-ray player, guess what? 20 minutes into watching a movie, it locks up. Now, why? Oh, I forgot. BD Live, that new feature, BD Live? Okay, so that you can talk to your 16-year-old daughter of your neighbor, about, some particular movie while you're watching the movie. that's going to lock it up because you don't have the software in that player. Or how about buying a simple iPod dock?